Alright, so the previous video asking whether or not YouTube is suppressing magic and occult channels did so well that I feel I need to do a part 2 to let you all know what everybody else is saying. Even Joe March, the Grand Infinity himself, has chimed in. And you know the video's doing well if it can summon the Psycho Sorcerer from the ether. And I have pinned his comment at the top for those who wish to express their feelings towards him, as many have done. It's great to hear that he is alive and well. Now, when it comes to notifications and video recommendations, it's certainly been a mixed bag. I'm hearing responses ranging from I get notifications all the time to I haven't gotten a notification in over a year. From your videos are always recommended to me to I have to go to your page to be able to find anything of yours. So there is no consensus. It does appear to be all over the place when it comes to those two things. Now, from my understanding, YouTube has admitted that they were going to do this type of suppression based upon how often you frequent the content. So if you haven't watched any of my videos in a while, the algorithm is more likely to say, well, you know, you haven't watched this content in a while, therefore you're probably not likely to watch this one either, so I'm just not going to show it to you. Which makes people go even longer without watching the content, which in turn makes the algorithm suppress the content even more. To me, it's a poor excuse, but this is what they're doing. And it is a form of suppression because they know out of sight, out of mind. Which is another lesson for another time, but they know it. This is why it's so important to click the bell icon. Subscriptions don't mean what they used to. YouTube's algorithm will override your subscription and keep you from the content. Even so, there are a few people who have said, I've already clicked the bell, I'm still not being recommended your videos, I'm still not getting notifications. In those cases, I guess they really don't want you watching. I really don't know what to say about that other than to bookmark your favorite channel's pages and frequent them often. Now, I have gone and signed up for a BitChute account. Don't expect it to be up and running anytime soon. I have way too many other important things ahead of it. Just know that it is coming. At some point, I will be uploading videos there. Okay? Now, the one thing that people seem to be in agreement on is the channel recommendations, or the lack thereof. Out of all the comments received, not a single one has said, yes, your channel is still in the related channel section. And many others are gone as well. This is what the original video was about, and this is what people have been confirming. Now, people have said, well, you're showing up in the featured channel section, but that's done manually. That's not algorithm control. With the featured channels, the channel owner has had to put them there. So those aren't affected. We're only asking about the related channel section. If you see my channel or any other magic and occult related channels in the related channel section, please let me know. Because right now, I'm under the strong impression that only unrelated popular channels are now populating the related channel section, which is a type of suppression. They're trying to be low-key about it. They're hoping you don't notice that all your related channels are gone and that your channel isn't being recommended along channels of similar theme, which I really don't understand the logic, because if you're already there watching videos on magic and the occult, what harm is it going to do to recommend another channel related to magic and the occult? You're already taking in that kind of content. Why wouldn't they want more views? If they want to keep you on the site watching videos, why would they risk recommending something that you may not be interested in? I swear I've never seen a company who, one, constantly screws their content creators, and two, fails to understand basic business practices. They're constantly shooting themselves in the foot all the time. They want to be the next internet TV. They want to be the next Hulu and Netflix. They want to sell you shows and movies. I'm recommended purchases all the time. But here's the thing. Why would I ever purchase something from them when I don't trust them? Why would I ever purchase anything if I don't know if it's still going to be there the next day or not? You know, you go and you buy all seasons of Game of Thrones on YouTube. Oh, sorry, we had to remove it because it's not family friendly enough. Now, they haven't done that, but I'm just saying that I don't trust them enough not to do that. We don't listen to their words, we listen to their actions. and their actions have been primarily focused on suppressing content that they themselves don't agree with or isn't mainstream enough, which is pretty much every content creator that doesn't have a major studio budget. And if you have content like ours, which doesn't break the terms of service, but they'd rather it not be on the site at all, they're going to do what they can to shove it down into the dark recesses of YouTube. They don't want it to surface alongside their family-friendly Netflix and Hulu videos. So they cheat and they rig the game. That's what manipulation of the algorithm is. If the algorithm is biased against certain type of channels, it's cheating. It's rigging the game. It's borderline discriminatory if your channel also has religious and spiritual content. I've said it before, the age of information won't last forever. Get it while you can. We've been watching them move towards controlling and restricting information for a while now. And people have said, well, why don't you target YouTube and its algorithm with magic? Well, that's a good question. Now, you already know I do a lot of magical work so that those who are meant to find this channel and information will find it. That hasn't changed. That's remained a constant. Views and subscribers haven't gone up at the rate that they probably should, and all of this may explain why, but they haven't really gone down either. We're still getting about 1,000 subscribers a month. So we're not doing badly, we're just not being treated fairly. So I consider the work of making sure the people who are meant to find this knowledge will find it far better than targeting the platform itself. I mean, never mind the fact that it's a private corporation that I have no business making decisions for because it's not mine. I know many of you don't care about that. So I will say this. Sometimes magic is like a sledgehammer when you need an X-Acto knife. I mean, you could cast for the algorithm to be fair to everyone, and then YouTube goes under and nobody's on the platform at all. But hey, at least the algorithm is fair to everyone now, right? It's not always wise to target the things that you rely on, especially when that thing that you rely on is someone else's business. If you're going to go that route, it's better to target censorship as a whole, such as the creation of an Internet Bill of Rights, or a lot of these large corporations being regulated as utilities, which I'm not totally convinced that regulation is the best idea, but when large corporations have this much control over our means of communication, it may be necessary. So if you want to use magic to influence the situation, those would be far better options. As to why I haven't yet, I'm still playing catch up with everything else. I'll just have to add it to the list alongside BitChute. But don't let me stop you from doing your thing. Just ask that you keep in mind what I've suggested. I really think the first thing that needs to happen is we need to get an answer from YouTube as to why the related channels aren't relating anymore, to see what they say. But the entire trick of that is actually getting someone from YouTube to ask. Maybe someone out there can get an answer because they don't talk to me. It was my hope that a lot of the other occultists that I mentioned in part 1 would take an active interest in it and ask the same thing. Yes, why are we not appearing in the related channels anymore? Styx Hexenhammer 666 covers a lot of news on censorship. And censorship and suppression of the occult and magic should be right in his wheelhouse. But so far, hardly a peep has come from anyone. And the problem is if it's ignored, then it only emboldens YouTube to do more and more suppression. Attention needs to be drawn to the thing they don't want attention drawn to. Hence the suppression in the first place. Now, perhaps the other magicians and occultists haven't seen the video. If they're anything like me, then I imagine they're probably pretty busy. But they should know about this because it affects them too. I know that Uncle Birch and Torval know about it, but as for the other ones, they haven't said a word. So let them know about it because I'd really be interested in hearing what they have to say. Now, I'm not asking you to spam or harass anyone over it. Bringing it to their attention by a single, "Hey, have you seen this?" will suffice. I just want to be clear on that. I'd imagine that the more channels asking the question, the sooner we'll be able to get an answer. And it's important to get an answer because there's still a chance that it could just be a bug. YouTube changes things so often that there's always a chance they could break something on some channels and not others. Because again, why would they be suppressing some magic and occult channels, but not all of them? Why are some channels related channel sections working, but others aren't. So it could still be a bug. They could be like, oh, sorry about that, and just fix it. But they're not even going to take a look at it unless we draw their attention to it. Again, out of sight, out of mind. Speaking of which, enrollment for the next cycle of the Laws of Magic series is still open. Subscribe now to reserve your spot in the 10th cycle. People have asked, is this the same course as before? Yes, it is the same series, just run for the 10th time. Each week for a year, you'll receive a lesson delivered to your email inbox covering one of the laws of magic. Those unwritten laws that you need to adhere to if you wish to have a successful magical practice. Subscribe now to reserve your place in the Laws of Magic 10th cycle before its launch on March 21st. Link in the video and in the description. And that will about do it for today. I just really wanted to follow up with this because of the overwhelming response from last time. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your love and support. It really does mean a great deal to me. Now, unless there are any new developments, we should be returning to a more normalized schedule, beginning with another Thoth Life video for Patreon supporters. I want to thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Take care.